Everybody, let me tell you a little story about how I peaked. So, when I first was looking into the trans community and all of the weird stuff that was happening within it, I was kind of on board. I was saying, I think this is fine ultimately, but also there's a lot of strange individuals in and around your community. Maybe you should do a little bit more gatekeeping. That's what I would say to these trans individuals. And now I'm at a point where I realized, they're not doing the gatekeeping because if they did the gatekeeping, there would be nobody left in the community. Because that's how strange and off the wall and everywhere the parameters for being trans are. Basically, there are none. These so-called medical professionals are trained to affirm every single individual that comes through their doors, because to do otherwise, to investigate even a little, would expose trans ideology for the ideological nonsense it is. Every single child that suddenly believes they're trans and walks into a gender affirming care unit, that's why they're put on T blockers and puberty blockers and whatever else, hormones, wrong sex hormones. They're given all of these surgeries. It's why it happens the second they proclaim a trans identity. What's really happening is these huge pharmaceutical companies are finding new ways to gain money from people's insecurities. Now, they've always preyed on people's insecurities surrounding their sex and gender roles and all of these things. And now they're doing it in such a way that they can get to your children. Children. Y'all remember back in the day, like maybe 3-4 years ago, when we were saying, hey, they're transing kids. And everyone was like, no, they're not. You're lying. Even though like TV shows like Jazz were on television actively showing the parents transing the child. And once it became apparent that they were transing kids in huge quantities, what did they say then? Oh, why do you care? Oh, why do you care about kids' genitals? What? Why don't you care more? Their genitals are a part of their being. Why if somebody wanted to cut off their arm, I wouldn't say, yeah, go for it. I would be like, no, you're sick. You need help. You need to go to therapy. They're basically trying to call us predators when they're the ones who are on board with all of this medical malpractice. And when I tell you it's medical malpractice, I'm not mincing words here. Give it 20 years. All of the medical malpractice suits will be rolling out. And everyone who just sat around and did nothing, or better yet, was egging on the nonsense, y'all are going to feel like fools. You're going to feel like fucking fools.